Welcome back to the CEO Sound Off. Brian and I just got back from Las Vegas. We were at an expo, our first time attending the PPAI Expo. So Brian, what are your thoughts? What did you think?
Well, first of all, that was the largest expo I've ever been to. I think I heard 30,000 attendees. Amazing. It was the promotional products conference, the largest show that they have for the year. And what I was telling everyone is that walking from our hotel room, or my hotel room in Mandalay Bay, to the booth, and it's the show is in the Mandalay Bay.
Right.
Walking from the hotel room to the booth was a half mile.
Right.
A half mile just to walk there. It had to be at least 3 football fields, the show itself. I think it's in the same, do they do CES there as well, I think, which is maybe one of the largest, if not the largest show. So it was amazing how big the show was. 30,000 attendees, a whole bunch of really awesome conversations, not only at the booth, but on the floor. I got to attend a couple of different of the learning talks that were really interesting. Just really, really well done. I want to shout out Connie, who from PPAI, who really helped us out and got us a great location. Pro tip, if you're going to be at one of these huge shows, try not to be on the very ends.
Yes, don't do it.
Right? Be in the middle.
Be in the middle.
Because people they go, and really you couldn't do the whole show in one day.
No.
So they'd kind of get tired. And we were kind of sort of in the middle, not perfect, but kind of sort of. And that I think that worked out really well. So I was very pleased by the show and just grand overall thoughts. What did you think?
I think the word that I'll walk away with was impress. I was impressed the entire time, from the PPAI staff to the attendees, to the conversations that we had, the openness and willingness for so many of our US-based prospects to be open to hear about having a team expansion in the Philippines, and just very open-minded people. I was highly impressed. I had a great time. I felt like it was a very organized event. And to your point, it was the largest expo I've ever been to. And I felt welcomed. You didn't feel out of place there. Everyone we met had been in the industry for 20 plus years.
Seemed that way.
Yeah, and they all wanted to guide us.
Once you get in that industry, you don't want to leave. There's money to be made at PPAI.
Listen,
or in promotional products.
There's tons of money to be made in America. We're consumers. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why.
Definitely consumers. You walk around the show and the really innovative ideas and really cool stuff. I was impressed by the products that I saw out there. It was really cool. There were a couple of competitors there, which was great in that we had some of their clients come up to us and ask us questions, and we learned a lot about the ecosphere. And I know you did a lot more walking around the floor and talking to the other booth members, and they ask you, what are you doing? What did you tell them?
I'm an engager, and so I like to listen and then speak after. And I really just was checking out their booths, checking out small businesses in America, mid-sized business and large business. I think it's always great in our nation to see how we're doing. I think a lot of times you can listen to the news and kind of think what direction we're going in, but it was so beautiful to see some small businesses saying, hey, I'm really tiny, but this is what I do. And that was great. So I really just got to know the different owners, and then I spoke to them about if they had a need for expansion and if they were considering it, because oftentimes if they were doing a lot on their own, I was wondering if there was an opportunity for them to free up some time to do things that were more salesy for them, and then they could look for a professional overseas if they needed it. And they were all, like I said, receptive and open to have conversations. So I thoroughly enjoyed my time on the floor.
One thing that I learned from talking to a lot of the attendees was a lot of them were looking for help on the sales back end.
Yes.
They were looking for people that they wanted to go out and find the projects, but they needed somebody to handle the orders.
Yes.
Some of them had websites for their clients, for selling the products, and so they needed somebody to manage those stores. They needed just general admin support for emails and coordinating calendars and stuff like that. And so that was really interesting to learn exactly about those positions they wanted, and obviously I think that Tahche, our firm, can help fulfill a lot of those roles. So that was really interesting, and I think really promising as far as like there's a need in this industry that we can fill. What was some of the common things you heard from the people you spoke to?
So some people were interested to know, like they were interested to see if they could have a hire beyond a VA. Mm-hmm. And I told them, absolutely, we have so many professional services that we employ talent for, and they don't have to be limited to just a virtual assistant because that's just what they're familiar with. So I did like expanding their thoughts around that area and letting them know that if they needed help in a specific niche, that they could train their talent, not so much, have to stay within the lines of somebody else committing to something that they weren't fully sure of. So I enjoyed telling them about the possibilities of a partnership and what the partnership does for both the talent and for the company. I was really letting them know that we like to employ Filipinos and we abide by all of the the statutory benefits that the Philippine government has put in place, and they were marveled by that, so it was good.
Yeah, you were out there. That was good.
Yeah,
that was good.
I got my steps in. I'm currently in a challenge with a friend of mine, and she was watching my steps daily, like telling me I was crushing it. And
that half-mile walk back and forth.
Goodness.
I mean, it was pretty easy to get to 15,000 steps or more.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So I wish I could do it again.
So one of the other things that I really learned was that we're launching an app here in February and showing people the app and the actually being able to see the candidates and see the salary requirements or requests that the candidates had when they were available was really an eye-opening thing for the people that we were talking to. And additionally, the cost plus model that we have compared to other people where they just it's a fixed price.
Right.
And so having conversations about what that means. If you're a fixed price, really you're making monies on the margin, right? And so you want to find people at the lowest possible price, and you've got a fixed price, and you're making money on that margin.
Right.
And a cost plus model like we have allows you to hire people at any price without the agency or the company that we are really trying to push you to the lowest possible person because we're going to make more money on that margin. And then just the transparency around salaries and the employment agreements and benefits and everything else, allowing the clients to have those types of conversations with their team so that they can decide what is the right salary for this staff member. Should they get bonuses? Should they have a KPI that's tied to their salary?
Right.
Do you want to have dependents included in the health benefits? 2 dependents, 3 dependents, or not? Those type of conversations and decisions and knowledge. A lot of the people that we spoke to that were working with agencies that are in the space were not having that flexibility and a lot of that ability to do that. And so what we were offering was a change from that, and I think really led to some really interesting conversations.
I'll agree. I think that most often their experience with other providers has been that they're in the dark. And so when we gave them the app and it was at their fingertips and they could choose between senior level talent, mid-level talent, junior level talent, and really look to the budget that they had for the year to hire talent, they were highly impressed. And I was very excited because, my team has been working on the app for a very long time, and to see it in the hands of the end user and to see that the end user was receptive to it and really excited about it lit me up in ways I can't describe.
Yeah, we were talking to I'm thinking about Naveed and Malik. We were talking to them, and when they first walked up, they're like, "Oh, I don't know if you guys, we're not the right people for you. I've got 5 people, and I'm not really I got 5 people in the Philippines right now, and it's not really working out great. These are the issues about training them, and if you hire another person, I got to train another person, and changing a person, this person's not working out, getting rid of them and hiring a new person, and are they really, what level of skill are they at? The English wasn't good, and so they're telling me all these challenges that they're facing, and I was like, wait a second, like, let me tell you what we do and how we do it and why that is going to lead to better outcomes for you. And I think we had a good 10-minute conversation, and they really, their eyes were open to what the possibilities can be if you have transparency and the ability to control the costs of the salaries for your employees and health benefits, and understand what that is, and have an app that shows you 70,000 potential candidates that want to work for you. And so having those conversations was really amazing. And I'm thinking also about the gentleman that was in the booth across the hall from us. After a day and a half of listening to us talk to other people, he comes strolling over and is like, hey, I've been listening to what you guys have been saying, and it's that might help me out as well. I think that he was looking for graphic artists and people that could support his business on the orders side to do order entry and stuff like that. And so having those kind of conversations were really, really interesting as well.
Something that came to mind while you were speaking was the possibility or us providing a different avenue in terms of having an office space. That was something that a lot of people who currently had partnerships, they didn't have the option to have office space. And the fact that we're in 2 regions, both Cebu and Manila, so many people were impressed that they could build their team in one of those spaces, have a private office space or have a shared space. But the fact that their team could collaborate in a space as an option for them really was good. And it's something that for us is just part of our business model. So we don't even take a second thought about it.
Yeah, I mean, the conversation really was that the clients that we have that have their teams in the office, they bloom faster and bigger than clients that don't. And the reason is that if you've got 5 or 6 people, and we had clients people that came up to us and said, hey, I've got 10 people in the Philippines and I just don't know how I'm going to grow this, but I need more help.
Right.
And the reason is that it's like herding cats at that point. Because you're not creating any type of institutional knowledge. You're not creating a situation where a senior person is teaching a junior person. If they're in an office, Bill's looking over to Bob and being like, hey, no, you go over here, you do that, or Tim's out sick today, Ann can help cover for him. Right. You have all that dynamic that happens in an office that doesn't happen in a remote situation. And so if you really want to grow your team beyond even 2 people, I think you really have to consider having your team in an office. And so you're right, that was a topic that came up a lot during our conversations as well. What did you think about just the comments about pricing or anything?
Oh my gosh, everyone is so excited that we had such a transparent model. They kept waiting for the other shoe to drop, and we said there's an admin fee, a monthly admin fee, and then you set the terms of your budget. And they were like, well, no, but what's the other cost?
Asking about like a recruiting fee.
It's very straightforward.
Is it a long-term contract? Is it all those things? And we've heard those questions before, but it's amazing how the outsourcing industry has kind of moved or has this model of a fixed price model. Yeah. Because they want it to be simple, or at least they want the feeling that it's simple,
for it to appear as if it is
pure simple, but it just creates all these unintended consequences that sabotages the teams as they're trying to grow.
I think the best example you used is when you said, okay, so how do you promote? If someone's doing excellent and you have a fixed cost model, how do you promote that person, And a lot of people who had team members for a long time, they were like, you're right. I'd like to incentivize or reward this person, but I'm not sure because of this fixed costs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was an eye-opening. I learned a lot. It was great to kind of demo the app there before the official launch to kind of see what was exciting to people, what was maybe not. We're talking about the app, but we also demoed the client dashboard that we launched this year, and that allows clients to be able to see the entire team, to see the employment agreement, see their salaries, when they started, when they got promotions, have an entire history for each employee, plus also have a central repository for the employee handbook, your MOA that you've signed, the list of Philippine holidays, and just even announcements regarding weather events and activities for the employees, and just really having that central database there is I think something that, again, transparency and trying to give everyone everything at their fingertips. So being able to demo that as well was amazing, and get the feedback and really understanding that. So it's going to be exciting as those things get launched for our clients.
I stand behind every platform that we've created this year, and it was really nice, like I said again, to see the end user really resonate with it and say, oh, it would be great to have a centralized place where I can look at my invoices, I can see my team members, so that you feel connected with your team. You see a photo of them, as you stated, you see the start date, you see if you'd like to give them a raise, or if you want to acknowledge or see. Sometimes we feature our employees and their families, and so sometimes you get to see a different side of your employee. And so I'm really proud of what we've built.
So what do you think? Should we do it again?
Absolutely. PPAI, you've got a friend with us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited about going to another PPAI conference. I know we're looking at regional conferences. There's one in New Jersey, which is somewhat close to Vicky and myself, so we might be going to the Atlantic City one. And then there's another conference in Chicago, which I think is the other kind of main one at the end of the summer, so we're looking at that as well. So if you are a PPAI member or somebody that attends those events, I guess keep an eye out for us, right?
Yeah, say hello, and I'll most likely run into you. I might stop by your booth.
Yeah. And if you're in another industry and you go to amazing conferences like the PPAI conference, where you think that there is an audience that enjoys or enjoys is the wrong word, that utilizes offshore staff and has a need for staffing help, whether it's admin support or sales or marketing, website design, all that stuff. If you're in an industry that has a great conference where we can meet dozens, I guess hundreds maybe,
hundreds.
of people that could utilize their services, let us know about that too. We'd love that.
Engage in the comment section. We'll definitely write back. And I'd love to see some proposed expos. We can plan out the year and hopefully see you soon.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us on the CEO Sound Off, and we'll speak to you soon. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.